There we go. That's another strange sound at the end. I wasn't quite sure if the studio went to pieces there, but that was the record. That was the Wonder Villains, and that's a song called The Ferrari, and that's from an album called Oh Yeah, Contenders, which is a great little album of music from Northern Ireland, new sounds from Northern Ireland, put out by the Oh Yeah Centre. And if you're interested in that, I'm going to play a few tracks on that today because it's well worth a spin. It's www.ohyeahbelfast.com. It's ohyeahbelfast.com. That's the way it goes. And here's an email. A gentleman says, please say a big thank you to the... Let me just check if that's right. Okay. Me arrows in the way. And the McCarthy family and everyone at Fiddler's Green, Portaferry, for last night's musical session recorded by the BBC show Blast Cool. But I told you to get down there if you're in the vicinity. And it's been screened on the 28th of October. Or indeed screened on the 28th of October. That's my birthday, funny enough. Oh, I just slipped out. The quality of music was unbelievable, and a special mention must go to Marianne Green for a captivating performance. Voice of an angel, a beauty to match. Well, as a matter of fact, she's sitting outside. She's going to come in here in about 5 minutes. I'm going to have a chat to her. She's got quite an exotic history, and I have to get to the bottom of it. Also, thanks from everyone at Fiddler's Green, the greatest pub in Ireland, where there are never strangers, only friends you have yet to meet. There's a man's been reading, well, the Chinese fortune cookies. Another gentleman said, as a Londoner and whilst listening on digital radio, I was delighted to hear a singer on your programme called Janet Dowd. A lot of reaction to Janet Dowd, great singer. I'm a frequent visitor to the province, and on my last visit in August I attended a birthday bash, or indeed bash, at Dungannon. Well, batch is probably the same thing, at Dungannon Rugby Club, and met Janet there. What a lovely singer. And a great girl, full of fun and talent. But she's going to come in here sometime. We're going to organise a little date. She's going to come in and sing for us. I particularly loved Loving Hannah, as I have a 17-year-old granddaughter called Hannah. I've just celebrated a significant birthday this week, and I'd love to play another track from her CD, Sky Road. I will indeed, as soon as I get... Oh, I'm just looking for it. I haven't got it with me. I thought I had it with me, but I haven't. I'll play it on Monday. Enjoy you, and the regards to the province. Well, the province appreciates that.
As I went walking down by the hill town, the lovely fresh mountains, they did me surround. I spied a pretty fair maid, to me she looked grand. She was gathering wildflowers on the banks of the Bann. I stepped up to her and this I did say, since nature has formed us to meet in this way, since nature has formed us, then here is my hand, and we'll walk together on the banks of the Bann. Then into a corner where the change took place, I knew by the flush that appeared on her face. Her feet they fell from her on the soft bed of sand, and she fell into my arms on the banks of the Bann. Now, young man, you have wronged me, come tell me your name, so when my babe is born I may give it the same. My name is Willie Archer, and you must understand, and my home and habitation lies close to the Bann. But I cannot marry you, for I'm apprentice born at the spinning and the weaving in Rathryland town. But when my term is ended, then here is my hand, and we'll get married on the banks of the Bann. So come all you pretty fair maids, take a warning by me. Don't go out a curtain by 1, 2 or 3. Don't go out a curtain by 3, 2 or 1, or you'll meet with Willie Archer on the banks of the Bann.
That's Marianne Green, and that's a song called The Banks of the Ban. That's from her album, which is called Dear Irish Boy. And I read an email. Apparently, Marianne was very, very good last night. And Blaskill, which is on sometime shortly, and I don't know when, and Fiddler's Green. And she sits in front of me. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for inviting me here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Now, I didn't know what to expect, because I got the impression that you were actually Danish, but I don't know if you are or not, are you?
Well, I'm Danish because I was born in Denmark and my father's half Danish and half English, but my mother's Italian. And I've fallen in love with Irish music and culture, so I don't know anymore.
So you were born in Denmark, right?
Yeah.
But you've got a kind of a... If I never met you before, I knew nothing about you, I would just imagine that you were from here. Because, your accent is the same as our accent. There's a little trace of something different there. But but you didn't actually come to live here when you were young, did you?
No. I've travelled over here to learn Irish dancing, and I've come over to record the album that I did, and I've been here many times and visit friends.
But you've got a Northern Ireland
I've never lived here.
But you've actually got a Northern Ireland accent. It actually passes for one. And it's not a real Northern accent, but it's almost one. But how did you get interested in music? In Irish music? Because... was it in the family? Was it your father or mother, or what was it?
It's a bit strange because we used to listen to a lot of different music. My father would play music on the record player. He's the type of person who's very curious in music and investigate it and really like to hear new things. And we'd hear music all the time, but different kinds of music. And I know that he played Irish music from when I was young as well, and folk music. And then suddenly, when I was in my teens, I think he played a Dubliners album, and I was like, what music is that? And he goes, well, that's Irish music. Oh, what's Irish music? And I'm sure I've heard it before many times, but that was the first time I realised it or noticed it in a special way. And then I said, do you have anything more? And I think he had a Chieftains album, and that was the beginning where I started doing my own journey into it and tried to find out more. And
so it was the Dublin that started you off. As long as you didn't hear Seven Drunken Nights, that's the main thing. And then you just went, and you're also a step dancer too.
That's right.
And you picked that up as well.
Well, I started learning Irish dancing with a girl who knew it from when she was a child, just the basics of it. But there would be no other teachers in Copenhagen to teach it. So I think I started off after that with videos, and I started dancing training with another girl, and just we're doing our own thing and the best we could. But then I travelled over to Ireland with a few other girls for summer school. And that kind of got us on the right track. But I started performing with a band called Trad Lads about 10 years ago, and we've been doing Irish music and dance in Denmark, but also travelled all over, like Europe and
But I can't get over you because you're Danish, right? You're Danish. You speak Danish. But you don't live here, but you visit here often.
Yes.
But you speak English with a Northern Ireland accent. It's fantastic. I mean, I can't believe that you're actually Danish because there's no trace of it really in the way you speak.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, let the listeners judge.
Yes.
Now, if the listeners just come on and they're listening to you speaking now, how many of them out there would think that you weren't from Northern Ireland? That's what I'm going to ask them. They'll probably let me know.
People have, they ask about it, say, oh, you have a Northern Ireland accent, but are you from, I get Donegal, Derry, Belfast, not so much Belfast, but maybe Tyrone, County Down, different places, and I don't know. It's probably very mixed, and depending on who I'm talking to.
You sing with the kind of an Armagh kind of a thing. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but you probably would be Armagh or Tyrone. You need to be very careful talking about counties here because they're very, very precious. I remember saying to a girl, "You're from Armagh," and she said, "No, I'm not. I'm from Tyrone." As if you're accused her of being some kind of evil person. So if you can't say to a person from Armagh that you might be from Tyrone. This is a great album, by the way. It's called Dear Irish Boy, and this is available, isn't it, here?
It is. I know it's available through Claddagh Records, and they have distribution different places, but it's definitely available online as well, and you can get it on iTunes if you just want a digital.
And you've got a website. Would you tell the people what your website is?
It's mariannegreen.com.
That's simple enough. It's MarianneGren, Green. What's your favourite track on this? Have you got one?
Oh, that's very difficult. I selected those songs over a few years and went through a lot of material. to narrow it down to those tracks. So
Mhm.
I love all the tracks on the album because
But-
they're very different. I thought I'd like to find songs that, even though they're similar because they're traditional and some of them have the same theme, I find they have a certain individuality. Each song has its own sort of story and twist to it.
All right.
So
Okay.
I don't know about
All right
that.
then. All right.
Depends on the mood.
So you enjoyed the wee Fiddler's Green last night?
It was very nice, very
Good.
nice. And people were so welcoming, and it was my first time singing in County Down with all
Really?
these County Down songs. Apart from recording the album, that was the first time. So
Oh, great. Are you doing any more gigs here in
no,
the north?
I'll be
Are
back
you
to
not?
Copenhagen on Monday morning. So
And do you intend to do any more in the near future? Nothing's been arranged yet, no?
no, but if anybody would like to invite me to do a few gigs, well, they're very welcome to contact us. So
Well, I think they will. And if, indeed, seriously, if people want to get in contact with you, if they don't want to use your website or haven't got it, it's www.mariannegreen.com. And if you want to know anything about you, should just give us a ring and we'll tell them all about you. Now, you intimated to me earlier on that you maybe might perhaps be forced to sing a little song.
right. Well, I thought we should, now that I'm here on my own, we could do the Shanos style of singing where I'll hold your hand and give you a song. That's what I was told, that was very common tradition in Ireland, that you'd give somebody a song.
I know, but see,
So-
you must remember who you're dealing with here. It's a big mistake for me to hold my hand because I might think something entirely different. So I'll spare you that. And maybe perhaps you could just sing.
I will sing Carrick Lake, perhaps.
Hold on a second. Neve's going to make sure this sounds just right. Just get a wee bit of nice sound on it. So tell me what this song is again.
It's called Carrick Lake.
I'll just hold your hand for a wee minute. There.
Can I start singing? I should sing while...
Go on.
One evening fair to take the air, a ramble I'd a tale. Down by yon crystal fountain called Carrickmannan Lake. Down by yon crystal fountain an image I did view, for nature never did design an image just like you. With courage bold, undaunted, I boldly then set forth, saying, my delightful charmer, you Venus of the north, give me my way, or else I'll stray, my one and only joy. And sure 'twould be a pity for to kill a harmless boy. With flashing eye and ne'er a sigh, she coldly said to me, young man, depart, for in my heart no place is decked for thee. And to my father pleading, no answer would she make, but turned away and left me by Carrickman Lake. Killinchie is my dwelling place, where first my breath I drew. Drumreed is my parents' place, 1,000 times adieu. All for your sake I'll passage take across the stormy seas, a pilgrim there to do and dare in North America. Now all young men take warning and shun Killinchie fair. Likewise sweet Carrickmannan for that false one shield is there. When the sun is slow declining o'er yonder hill so clear, the shadow of her dwelling in the lake it does appear.
I have to say that's the most pleasant couple of minutes I've ever spent. Where's the webcam? Is our webcam on? We held hands all during that.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. I'm going to play another one. You have to pick one of these now. You have to pick one.
Oh, I think The Dear Irish Boy is a lovely song.
Okay, what number is that now? Hold on a second. Where is it? 5.
8, is it? 8.
I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we'll play that. Well, I have to say, for a card-carrying Danish person, you're a hell of an Irish singer. Marianne Green, thank you so much for coming in. It's been, I don't think I've ever enjoyed anything as much for a very long time.
Thank you for holding on.
Oh, I'll do it again if you like. And the next time you come here, we hope to see you more often doing some gigs. And back to Denmark you must go. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
And it's weary on morning and weary on well, and it's sure we don't want them as we have our help, for it's they tempted Connor far over the sea. And I lost my lover, my chesla, my chri. Smiling, beguiling, cheering and dearing. Oh dearly, I loved him and he loved me, and each other delighted and fondly united. My heart in the ground with my chesla, my chri. My Connor was handsome, good humoured and tall, at hurling and dancing, the best of them all. But when he came curtain beneath the old tree, his voice was like music, my chesla, my chri. Smiling, beguiling, cheering and dearing. Oh dearly, I loved him and he loved me, and each other delighted and fondly united. My heart in the ground with my chesla, my chri. So true was his heart and so artless his mind. He could not think alone the worst of mankind. He went bail for his cousin who ran beyond sea, and all his death fell on my chesla, my chri. Smiling, beguiling, cheering and dearing. Oh dearly, I loved him and he loved me, and each other delighted and fondly united. My heart in the grave with my chesla, my chri. But still I told Connor that I'd be his wife, in sorrow or death not to stir from his side. He said he could ne'er bring misfortune on me, but sure I'd be rich with my chesla, my chri. The day that he left us, I never will forget. Not a night in the village with tears was but wet. Don't cry anymore, no warning, said he, for soon I'll return for Machishla Machri. Smiling, beguiling, cheering and dearing, oh dearly I loved him and he loved me, and each other delighted and fondly united. My heart's in the grave with my Kushlamachri. Sad as I left then, hope mixed with care. Alas, I have nothing I left but despair. His ship it went down in the midst of the sea, and that was the end of Machishla Machri. Smiling, beguiling, cheering and dearing, oh dearly I loved him and he loved me, and each other delighted and fondly united. My heart's in the ground with my Kushlamachri.
My Dear Irish Boy. Sorry, The Dear Irish Boy. That's the title of the album. Well, the title of the album is Dear Irish Boy. I'm in love. She sang that song and she held my hand and looked into my eyes when she sang it. A very dangerous thing to do, a man of my experience. Oh, she's lovely. That's, what can I say? Unbelievable. There's people think we're winding them up. I'm getting lots of emails. People love Marion singing, but they don't believe that she's not from Northern Ireland. She's not. Believe me, she's from Denmark. Here are some of the messages. She sounds more Irish than G-Mac, or indeed, let's not forget Rory Mac or R-Mac or Tarmac. Gerry, if that girl is from Denmark, I'm from the moon. All the best, Francie. She is from Denmark. My guess is that she picked up her English listening to, well, not listening to people from Northern Ireland singing, but Irish people singing. And also, you can't do that, but there was a big influence on her. She sounds, it says here, Noel from Newcastle, she sounds like a very young Cara Dillon. Would never have thought she was Danish. She sounds like she's from Derry. Well, she does a bit, And what, says Michael in Lisburn, she speaks better Northern Irish than me. That's the artist in her. Beautiful. Indeed, yes, a very good Tyrone accent at the best. See, people think she sounds like she's from Tyrone. And so many of these people don't believe it. She is not from Northern Ireland and has never really spent a lot of time here. She is from Denmark. She sounds like a Tyrone woman, Gerry. I think we'll claim her because she also sings like a Tyrone woman. Well, that's the best compliment you could probably get. Wish her all the best from Tyrone. She's magnificent. That's from Kevin. And I think you're telling a wee fib. I think she's telling a wee fib. She sounds as if she's from Mahara. That's from wee Jim in Draperstown. Now, you see, you wanted to be from Mahara, you see. You cannot. Gerry, can you test out your Viking horn on Marianne? Maybe you can... Yeah, thank you. From Mr. D, the real Viking. Thank you for that. Sorry, a little mention. Please mention a charity night at the Beach Lawn Hotel to raise money for Victor and Rosemary Moore to see their granddaughter, Laurie Moore, Miss Northern Ireland, when she goes to China. Laurie's mother, of course... came to a tragic end, and Victor and Rosemary brought Laurie up since then. OK, we'll be back after news, approximately 3-4 minutes past 11 o'clock.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Josephine Long. Deputy First Minister Martin McGuinness says the First Minister cannot determine for himself where and how cuts to government should be made. In a speech to the Federation of Small Businesses last night, Peter Robinson said he wants fewer MLAs and executive departments, which he says would save money. Martin McGuinness said he was not alone in questioning the motives behind the suggestion, and any decision would be up to the executive as a whole.
The second part of it, in relation to the number of departments, does call into question the whole issue of whether or not we stand by the Good Friday Agreement. And I think there will be a concern, which I think has been already expressed this morning by the leader of the SDLP, Margaret Ritchie, that this will be an attempt by the DUP to freeze out SDLP representation on the executive.
Northern Ireland cyclist Wendy Hoevenhagel has won a silver medal in the individual pursuit in the Commonwealth Games in Delhi. She was narrowly beaten to the goal by New Zealand's Alison Shanks. She said she was positive about the result, but that it had been a case of bad planning.
Seeing that Alison had posted a really fast time for the qualification ride, it gave me quite a lot of confidence, thinking that it's going to really cost her in the final. So I was quite confident going into my final. Just towards the end of my race, I could see that I was down in comparison to Alison, and I had nothing left to do to get the win back. So I just got to the finish line as fast as I could and came away with the silver.
Yesterday, the Northern Ireland's men's cycling pursuit team won bronze. This year's Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to a Chinese dissident who campaigns for human rights. Liu Xiaobo took part in the Tiananmen Square protest and is currently serving an 11-year prison sentence in China for writing a manifesto demanding political reform. And now the weather with Angie Phillips.
Rather cloudy at first, with a few patches of rain, especially for Down and Antrim, but even here it should become drier by the afternoon. Brightening up too, the cloud breaking to give a few sunny spells and highs a summer-like 17, maybe 18 Celsius, although the brisk easterly breeze may spoil the warmth, especially near the coast and over hills. Tonight staying mild and breezy, with cloud closing in again.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news. Roadworks on the A26 Frosses Road are causing tailbacks in both directions. Traffic controls are in place there near Clockmills with queues of about half a mile in both directions. Meanwhile, in County Down, work has now finished on the Newry Road in Kilkeel. That road has been reopened to traffic. And finally, at the George Best Belfast City Airport, this morning's Flybe flight from Leeds Bradford has now been cancelled, while the 11 o'clock arrival from Edinburgh is now due at 11:45. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
OK, thank you. Welcome back. Wendy Austin's here. Wendy, it's very hot in here.
Well, it's hot on your side of the desk, I think, Gerry, but that's just your natural warmth, I think, really,
This is
isn't
Hugo's studio. This is Hugo's studio. I don't normally be in here. They must be trying to sweat him out. What's the programme today, Wendy?
Well, I have a couple of stories. Political correctness gone mad in Fermanagh and officialdom gone mad in Lisburn. And then, well, it's Friday. Bit of fun in a number of directions. It was a really dark night last night. I don't know if you were out, but apparently it was the moon was only 2% of what it normally is.
I wouldn't notice I had drink taken. It looked as dark as it normally is. I didn't notice any degree of darkness that I should comment on. It was darker than it is normally.
It really was, yeah. And there were lots of people out doing that autumn watch thing, so we wondered what you could see when it's as dark as that. So maybe people will let us know. Right. And I have a wee quiz for you, since it's a Friday.
Yes.
Who was the first man on the moon?
Neil Armstrong, of course.
Well, according to kids at school these days, it was Buzz Lightyear. And who won X Factor last year?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, the frightening thing is that more than 50% of them did know that it was Joe McElderry, but they had no idea who the first man on the moon was. So we'll be talking about the daft things that kids say and think. And last but completely not least, ciao bello, come stai?
Che passa?
Valpolicella.
Good, it's good.
Ferrari.
I like it.
Leonardo.
Italia.
Yeah, they're coming tonight here at Windsor Park and Ravenhill. We wear their clothes, we eat their food, drink their wine.
And we whip their asses at football. It'd be great if Northern
rugby.
It'd be great if Northern Ireland win that tonight, wouldn't it?
It'd be good.
I can't see it though somehow.
Well, it might be a brighter moon than usual.
Our shorts are too long.
Yeah. But, so we're talking about the Italians. They're all here. There's lots of them here already, of course.
I know.
Not famous Italians, so we'll be talking about
women don't like Italians. They're far too handsome.
I don't know about that.
All right, well, see you later.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Listen, I've travelled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I've travelled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Bangor, Bellarine, Benborough, Lisbon City, Ballantoy, Pomeroy, Brushing, So Pretty, Lisnaskey, Tendergee, Money, Glass Points, Pass, Killalay, Monterey, Signmills, Fork Hill, Helens Bay, Kilray, Donegal, Mullaghmore, Ockapock, Firemountown, Akadooey, Draperstown. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Ballymena, Armoy, Belcoo, Ognacloy, Kerry Bridge, Carrador, Castle Dawson, Moneymore, Carryduff, Coleraine, Cookstown, Lisbane, Enniskillen, Derrylin, Jonesborough, where I've been, Cully, Hannover, Moore, Ballyhalbert, Abbashaw, Brookborough, Drummondess, North, South, East, West. I've been everywhere.
I like to start off the programme with a little blast of that. Makes me feel warm inside. Johnny Cash. It's not him, of course. Speaking the names of our towns. It's just like our William.
Now that your darling keeps you home, there goes the best war we've ever had. Now that nobody's all alone, we'll turn forgiveness to forget. If you're in town, you'll look me up. We'll dance the days into the cups, and you will talk of golden rivers flowing, giving you enough. Bye-bye years of deals and dolls. Bye-bye Montreal. What wicked patterns we succumb from the warnings we have run. Now from a figure we have cut the mold and filled the stadium. If in as many years I call you from the middle of it all, will you forgive me or forget that we were ever born at all? Bye-bye years of deals and dolls. Bye-bye Montreal. Bye-bye years of deals and dolls.
That's Bye Bye Montreal from a singer from Newfoundland called Amelia Curran, and that's from an album called Hunter Hunter. There's going to be quite a few people from that part of the world coming over here to do a bit of music around about the weekend of the 28th, 29th of October. There's all kinds of stuff going on then, so I'll let you know about that. Incidentally, the number to ring if you want to contact this programme. This gravy's running off me. For God's sake, how does Hugo survive in here? Oh, wait, no wonder he's hysterical. 08459 555 678 is the phone number if you want to contact us for any reason. And the email address is gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Text messaging service 81771. A gentleman says, what's that lady's name? So I can Google is the word you're looking for. It's Marianne Green. And you can check her out on YouTube if you like. She's got some stuff on that. Gerry, that Danish girl sounds Northern Irish to me. She's a lovely singer. On another subject, I was told that Sean Coyle was spotted last night down by the docks, strutting around in high heels and a miniskirt. He then ran off when confronted by a sailor. If you happen to bump into him, would you tell him that the peelers have one of the high shoes and the barracks waiting to pick them up? Okay, I'll pass that on to him. I didn't think he did that until a Saturday. He must have got restless. Here's another email. I'm going to see Carl Verheyen. Yes, O2. Carl Verheyen's a guitar player, has been in here on a number of occasions. One of the best guitar players in the world. He's currently playing with Supertramp. So any people, I know he made a lot of friends here in Northern Ireland. He's playing with Supertramp at the O2 in Dublin. So if you want to get down there, say hello. What a gig that is. Wouldn't you love to go down and see that? I was going to go, but then again, it's too dear. Right. Oh, and I told you before, if you want to check out Marion Green, go to YouTube and look at this. Seamus Heaney's writing to me again. I wish he'd leave me alone. We didn't, of course, celebrate Poetry Day, so I thought maybe we'd perhaps do some things today. So once upon a midnight at dreary, while I was pondering weak and weary, over many a quaint and may I say volume of long-forgotten lore, whilst I nodded, nearly napping, holy God, there came a tapping on the door, as if someone gently rapping at the chamber door. "'Tis Paul Muldoon," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more. Open then!" I flung the shutter, and with many a flit and flutter, into my room came a ghostly snipe, the snipe of bogland lore. The snipe said, "Mush, Alana, Seamus Heaney, I heard you met the Queenie, where the grass is nice and greeny, and no bogman ever trods, and you talked of eggs and bacon, but not one word was spoken of the bogman done in Crossmaglen who dig the peaty sods." Cried I, "Snipe! Snipe! That is a slander. I invite you now to dander back to the Snipey's homeland in the bogs of Muckamore, where Patrick Kavanagh trod. So gather up your feathers on the one road all together. Oh, Faye, what a grey day! Will you please shut that door? Look at the muck in here." The snipe then gave a titter, on my Nobel Prize did skitter. I felt sad and bitter as the man from God knows where. Of course, Mr. Russell I'm referring to there. The snipe then gave a squeaker, like a red Rhode Island clocker, soon as claws were pulling clumps out of my lush poetic hair. I was swinging my old hurley. I keep one handy at all times, because you never know when you're going to go down to the Holy Land and there's a game on at 3 or 4 in the morning in the middle of the street. I was swinging my old hurley in the middle of the hurly-burly. My mood was dark and surly, and my gansy ripped to shreds, and I couldn't help but ponder as the snipe attacked from yonder. What every word you say nothing, but snipes should be kept in sheds. About of early morning booking led to my awoking. My shirt was soaking, and feathers left and right. But no snipe from the boggies had popped its little cloggies. I'd torn chucks from my pillow with my gnashers late at night. So there you are now. Don't eat cheese before you go to bed. You can eat an apple instead, or nod a raw spud. Aye, nod a King Edward, like the bogman in Crossmaglen. Till the next time, I was Seamus Heaney, at your very pleasure.
Barry, go on, put yourself on the mountain, I suppose. You won't come back till you find you a fossil.
Oh, this is Chip Taylor now. I played that yesterday, but people wanted me to play another track. I would play that again, but it's quite long. I meant to play this one, actually. Chip Taylor from his album Yonkers Boy.
Got a reservation down at Nepperhan Station. Flatten your nickels, boys, and wave that train goodbye. It'll be on time. It's the Hudson River line. God bless America in that charcoal sky. Boys, this is Harry. He's a conductor for the Putnam de Vere. Now, he's been doing it for 18 years. He's been my friend for 9. Harry, this is Barry. Middle son John and little Jamie. Trying to teach my boys about that charcoal sky. Got a reservation down at Nepperhan Station. Flatten your nickels, boys, and wave that train goodbye. It'll be on time. It's the Hudson River line. God bless America in that charcoal sky. Now, since the 1860s, boys, we've been pushing up steam. And I still hear those wheels every time I close my eyes. And without that steam, boys, there'd be no American dream. And Daddy said, God bless you, Harry. We'll see you by and by. Got a reservation down at Nipperhan Station. Flatten your nickels, boys, and wave that train goodbye. It'll be on time. It's the Hudson River line. God bless America in that charcoal sky. Now wave goodbye to Harry, boys. The caboose she's rolling. See him running to catch up to her, and don't he catch it every time. Now when he hops on board, boys, give a wave. Time we started going. Sooner around that bend, we'll see that charcoal sky. Got a reservation down at Nipperhan Station. Flatten your nickels, boy, and wave that train goodbye. It'll be on time. It's the Hudson River line. God bless America and that charcoal sky.
That's Chip Taylor, of course, who was in the studio the other day. That's from an album called Yonkers, Yonkers, New York, which is, of course, a district of New York. And you can contact if you want to get that. It's a website, www.trainwreckrecords, TRAINWRECK, records.com. That's it. Some more messages. Another one about Marianne Green. Now, we've got a very strong continental connection today. Of course, Marianne is Danish. And we're going to be talking to a guy, and he's going to sing for us now in a moment, a fellow called Tony McLaughlin, who's originally from Northern Ireland, but has been in the continent for years and years and years. He's been in Germany and various places. So there we are. So what we have today is one person with a Northern Ireland accent who is not from here, who spent all her life in the continent, and another man who has a Northern Ireland accent who is from here, who spent most of his life in the continent. A gentleman rings in to say, that's unbelievable. She's got the most gorgeous accent and voice. Can't believe she's Danish. I know a Spanish waiter in Mallorca who speaks English with a thick Glasgow accent. How you doing, boy? Welcome, tonic. Very strange, but very funny. So my brother's got a Southern Irish accent, and he lives in Toronto. Don't know where he got that. I talked about that the other day. I won't talk about it again. Gerry, here's a man who turns to me for advice, and no better man, because I have been down that road. He said, I've been off the ciggies for a week now. I'm doing great. How long should I stay away from the booze to prevent a relapse back to the cigs? Now, that's a very, very good question. Because I myself, and I don't like to trill or boast, I've been off cigarettes nearly 4 years now. And it wasn't easy. And the worst part, you're absolutely right, the worst part was actually going to a pub. But it's not too bad now, because you're not allowed to smoke in a pub. But the time when I was going off cigarettes, you could smoke in pubs, and it was hell. I had to stop going. You can't go. Well, you can go now, but as long as you don't get the urge to stand outside with the big boys. It's okay to go there, but one of the things you should do when you give up cigarettes is you have to stop drinking as well. You really do, just for a week or two. It's not, your liver will thank you for it. No, you have to stop drinking as well for about a week or two until you get the worst of it over you. Then about the third week, start in easy again, but don't overdo it. Don't go to a pub anyway, because it's just full of people talking about Graham McDowell. Anyway, I'm not sure whether you tune in, says Michael Jennings, to Jules Holland or not. Well, Jules Holland has a great programme, but, I find it hard to look at him. But in case you don't, you should do yourself a massive favour and go to your BBC iPlayer, which I do on a regular basis. Look for last week's episode 3, Jamiroquai, Katie Tunstall and Ray LaMontagne. well, I have played Raymond Langtang on this programme, and I can't say his name. If you download the entire programme, you can do something else, then come back to it later and fast forward to the 54th minute. Just catch the end of Harry Enfield's interview and his blatant plug for his new show, and Jules Holland's thinly disguised contempt for being forced to pay lip service to the whole arrangement. By the way, I know how this works. I used to do a talk show. By the way, it'll take more than Jules to help him with that. It'll snide dig at Harry Enfield. I find Later with Jules the perfect example of a programme just made for Sky Plus. I can hear George Hook saying, George Hook's a man on radio in the South, you can cut through all that crap and get to what you really want to watch with Sky Plus. That's the way he talks. I did an interview with him one time. He thought I was weird. Anyway, when Jules rises from his conversation with Enfield, he introduces Ray Lamontang and the Pariah Dogs, who turn out to be a banjo picker and a lady bass player. Together they perform a song entitled Old Before Your Time. I thought it was really exceptional and deserves your attention. Well, I shall do that. Thank you. Now, I know that Ray Lamontang is an international star and needs no help from you to promote his music, but you should search this out for yourself and enjoy it privately, even if you choose not to include it amongst your show's playlist. See, I have to tell you something. I've long gone past the stage where I play music at home. There was a time when I was dedicated to music and I used to play music 24 hours a day, but after a while, you kind of get fed up with it. I never play music at home. I never did. Now, I just sit and stare at the wall. It's much better. The whole piece is backlit with 3 simple spotlights giving an atmospheric feel where the viewer only really needs to see one half of the singer's face, but the 3 instruments, unlikely bedfellows of acoustic guitar, bass guitar and banjo, combine to produce a beautiful sound. Add in Lamontagne's gravel-infused vocals and the whole piece becomes something special. I've searched out Ray Lamontang and the Pariah Dogs on Amazon and found a new album which includes the track If It Grows On You. Right, that's it. I'm off now. I've done my good deed of the day. I've alerted the people to Ray Montang and the Prairie Dogs, or the Prairie Dogs. And just remembered, I've been trying to get that Phil Davidson track, Ballymena Agnes, for my wife. And all I can get from his website is sold out. Can you advise? Well, become Phil Davidson, put CDs on your website and get them sold out. That's what I advise. If you really want it, I can get you a copy.
Another day to wait alone, on the run for open homes and hide. Open up the buying lines, all in for can make this time tonight. Look around, the evening's young, see the time begin to run and fade. Tell the world to anyone, feel the light the setting sun has made. Take a moment as you feel the heart begin to beat again. We'll be singing as the fires burn and light in everything. Nothing hangs on what we say, all forgotten, now you're on your way and hide. Fill me up, the time has come, see the best in everyone and ride. No one's running as the western world begins to turn again. Pour another as the heart crashes into everything. Take a moment as you feel the heart begin to beat again. We'll be singing as the fires burn a light in everything. Don't you know where this started? Oh, tonight the dear departed one. What we've been and done. Oh, look at what you've gone and done. This is it, just where you want it. Get a man you called it right. Take a moment as you feel the heart begin to beat again. We'll be singing as the fires burn a light in everything.
That's the Farriers. I don't know what that's called because I'm in a different studio entirely. Tony McLaughlin, this was. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Gerry.
How are you? Can we hear him all right? Yeah, just a wee second. Tony, who are you with?
Oh, this is a great friend of mine, a great musician from Waterford.
Yes.
Conor O'Neill.
Morning, Conor. Can you
Good
speak
morning.
there?
I can, yeah.
Okay, so I don't mean can you speak. I'm just wondering, can we hear you?
I hope so.
Tony, it's we've got kind of a theme today because Marion Green is not from here, and she's from Denmark, and you are from here, but you spent a long time. You left. What age were you when you left here?
I was 18 when I just did my A levels, and I went to university over in England.
Yeah.
And I never really lived here again. You know, I kind of came back, you know, for Christmas and whatever, you know, and then the checkered checkered career. Then it's a bit too long to talk about, but I never really. The longest time I spent here, I guess, since then was in the north. I mean, was when my dad was dying. That was about 5 years ago, and he had a great death because we. 6 of us in the family, and we were all back. His time was up, you know, and he had a great death. And actually, I'll tell you a great story.
Go ahead.
You know the way when somebody's dying, you know, and I suppose it's in every country, but in Ireland, somebody decides to make the shower bigger so it's easier for them they don't have to step into the bath.
Yeah.
You know, and of course my brother was doing this shower, and I was home I spent nearly 3 weeks at home in Europe, and it was the longest time. But I was there, and all my sisters were fussing around, and my dad was sitting. He was sitting up in the bed, and even though he was on morphine, the whole lot, and we were all around. He was just as happy as could be. And the next thing, you came on the radio.
Oh my God!
Says, and you played a song called Houston from my first album.
Yes.
And you said, and my sisters. Daddy, I think that's Tony on the radio. And she says, how could he? He wouldn't be on the radio. Why would he be on the radio? And then the next thing you come on up. Now, that's Tony McLaughlin, great songwriter. I don't know why we don't hear more about this guy. I mean, he nearly fell out of the... And I phoned the station to say thank you.
Yes.
And I got through to Sean, and Sean said, no, I'll put you through to Gerry. And I spoke to you,
That's right.
I just said to you, well, you know, my dad's not too well at the moment. He actually had 2 days to live. But it was great, and you played something for him. But
great.
It was really a lovely. He showed me how to die. It was really great, really lovely.
That's a very Irish thing, that, isn't it? You know, when you think about it, you've been able to talk about a great death.
Oh yeah,
English people wouldn't be able to talk about that.
Well, I guess, you know.
No harm to English people, but you know, people not from here would find that difficult too.
You know, in the church, I'm not a church singer by any means, too rough, but my mother said to me, Tony, I want you to sing something. And I'd heard this. My father was called Danny, and I'd heard the Johnny Cash version of Danny Boy. Have you heard it?
Yes, I have.
American recordings.
Yes, I have.
And my niece was playing, and my mother says, Tony, I'm very proud of you, and your father was very proud of you. And but there's only one thing, and my sister Aileen said, you're always complaining. And my mother said, no, there's only one thing. Your father, when he heard everybody singing, he started scratching at the coffin to get out and sing along with us. And that's the way we put him in the ground. And, what a way to go.
Oh, that's great.
So I think that's a very,
Well, so your heart's still here, kind of, basically, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where have you been? Did you spend much of your time in Germany?
No, I spent a good lot of time in Germany. I had a great run in Germany. I did my first album with a wonderful guy called Tom Utz, who's now playing with Nancy Griffith.
That's right.
In Germany. And then I had a good agent, and I got some really good work there. And eventually, my marriage was gone at that point. Eventually,
how strange
for
a musician,
and whatever. But so I was coming and going to Germany for a good while, and then I was back here because I got a record deal with Outlet Records. Short-lived, but they went into liquidation. I don't know what happened there. We won't talk about that.
It was your fault. Yeah.
My fault.
No, but your records, you made some great records.
Well, at that point, I went to the States. Tom Utz was out there in Nashville, and he heard what had happened. but with the outlet, I have to say, outlet, it really knocked me for six. I took the carrot and believed it, and I'm a left of centre songwriter, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I really, they had did a really good producer. Johnny Scott was going to be musical director. He's a guitar player with.
Yeah.
Yes. And they had a guy called Nielsen who, I think he produced Tubular Bells at one point. And I'm going,
oh, yes, I know the guy you mean. He's been here around here for a little while. He was working with somebody. I can't remember. Go ahead.
Anyway, and so I was sure it was going to be anyway. It didn't happen, and Tom invited me out to Nashville, and I did an album in Nashville, which is my third album, which is called Tall Black Horse, and
that's a great album.
I didn't really release it in Europe, didn't do anything with it here, because subsequent to that, I got this publishing deal in Nashville with Matt Lindsay, and I thought that was all I had to do, and then I was going to do another album with I had another bunch of songs ready, and I was going out to Tom last November. Out to Nashville again, because I've been going to Nashville and playing and writing out there quite regularly. And Tom then had extra dates with Nancy on the road, and he said, look, can we leave it till January? And I was working with a great songwriter from very close to my hometown. I'm from Newry, but Ben Reel from...
No, of course, Ben Reel. Yeah.
And I met Ben. He was touring around with his band, a great band. And it ended up... I went into studio in Monaghan with him to try out a few songs, and we instantly had the chemistry. And I made this fourth album, which is called Ride the Wind. I think you got that too. And
well, why don't you do something for us now? Anything at all you like? Tell us what it is.
Well, what I'd love to do, because Connor and myself, over the years, we've been singing a lot together. He's a really great singer on his own, but he's going to sing harmonies and play guitar today. But we just see there's another collision, a tanker collision down off
Brest. Yes.
And hey, there's such thing as AIS.
There goes Brittany.
It's crazy. How do two tankers collide? Anyway, this is a song off my last album, not the new one, but it's called Blue is for the Ocean. So I think it's appropriate.
There you go.
Okay. The mountain felt the pain, the valley filled with rain. The sun refused to shine, a million tears to cry. So truer as it falls, the thunder seemed to call. The bright has gone to gray. Good times gone away. Blues for the river, blues for the ocean, blues for the sky. Blues for the river, blues for the ocean, blues for the sky. Well, it gets you down below. Hurts you and it shows. This feeling is unknown. It stings you to the bone. Cut it out and dry. Cut it till you cry. The core. Love is here no more. Blues for the river, blues for the ocean, blues for the sky. Blues for the river, blues for the ocean, blues for the sky. Blues for the river,
That was really nice. What album's that from?
That's from Tall Black Horse, my third album.
How can people get your material? Can they get it on the web?
Yes, you go to my website, tonymclaughlin.com, or you can get it on iTunes, and I think you can get it on a few things, certainly iTunes, and you can get it on CD Baby, things like that.
Okay, it's Tony McLaughlin, Loughglin.
Yeah.
People in Derry in the northwest tend to spell it Laughlin, so it's Loughglin.com.
Okay. Or just Google me and it'll show you, But I'm sort of working on distribution at the moment. I had distribution before from Glitterhouse Records in Germany and a few other companies like that. But I'm getting great reviews for the new album, Ride the Wind.
Couldn't remember the name of it there.
Not so much in what's the name?
You had a moment.
but so the same thing, But so we'll see anyway. I'm getting really wonderful reviews in places like Holland and Belgium and England and a little bit in Scotland.
Well, you can't knock that.
No, I'm delighted with it.
Tell us a wee bit about your earlier life in Uri. The troubles would have been going strong, of course, by the time you're coming up. Was it a big deal for you to go to university in your family?
I was the first in my family.
That's like, I was thinking that, and I didn't want to ask you.
Yeah.
But you look like a fella that would have been the first. No, do you know what I mean?
No.
There's a certain type of people, and the first guy. I mean, I was the first to go to university in our family.
Really?
But I didn't go until I was 30. I was a mature student, but I was the first.
Right.
And, and it was always, it was a big deal for me, not because of me, but it meant so much to my parents. And probably the same with yours.
Absolutely.
But maybe they didn't really appreciate what that meant.
No, they did. They appreciated it more than I did. I think at the time I was just so pleased to just move on. I was really, just tired of all that nonsense.
But what year was this? Was this during the Troubles? Obviously.
Yeah, 1973.
Oh, bad! Couldn't be any worse than Gerry in 1973.
And in the end, I guess we were all damaged in a certain way, and
nobody escaped. No, nobody escaped. You're either damaged from the point of view of your attitude, or maybe something you don't see, or the way you think about things. Nobody escapes.
No, but in the end, I mean, I have to say I had a very balanced view on the whole thing too. I mean, I've a lot of cousins in Belfast, and my uncle Jimmy had a hotel years ago in Belfast, and he got the hotel burned down because he didn't want to give bottles or something like that. But in the end, it was probably a good thing for him, because I mean, the hotel business was just going to be.
That's right. Yeah. The tourists weren't exactly queuing up to go to Newry in 1973.
No, but he no. But well, I suppose there's always cross-border shopping. That's a border town. It's. But at the same time, I have to say that I've great memories of the guys around that time, and there was a great music scene here. I remember seeing Rory Gallagher, early Fleetwood Mac, and hearing really great music. Not necessarily in Uri now. In Uri,
no, you wouldn't have seen them in Uri.
No, but and then.
Do you ever notice the longer you stay away, the smarter you get? The more liberal you get.
My father said when he was 18 he thought that his father was an awful fool, and when he was 21 he was amazed how much he'd learned in 3 years. but
you do another wee song. We're running out of time. I want to sing as much music as
possible.
Yeah,
we got a load of songs here. Can we do a song off the new album?
You can do whatever you want.
It's called Ride the Wind, the album, but we're not going to. No, we're going to do this one. I'm going to do this for. I guess you're a bit of a. You're a bit of a guy that's been around the post, and I know you were in the States and you were a musician, and so I think you might understand this. Do this anyways.
All right.
I guess for my mother anyways, from a prodigal, so we do it. It's called Mother's Son, yeah. All right, Connor.
longer. The road is ever wide, but I feel I'm getting stronger every little by and by. I heard somebody calling out my name, saying, darling, if you need me, I'll be calling out again. I take my loved ones with me, I take them everywhere I go. It's like a picture in a locker, it's the only love I know. Well, I didn't realize, I didn't understand how you can lose for a lifetime what you're holding in your hand. St. Martin will protect me, St. Christopher my guide. Yeah, I know my mama sent them to be ever at my side. And there's a full moon rising way out over the sea. And there's a full moon rising, hey, it's rising now for me. And I'm running wide open as fast as I can go. I'm running wide open down this lonesome road. Well, I didn't realize, I didn't understand how you can lose for a lifetime what you're holding in your hand. So the road is getting longer, the road is ever wide, but I feel I'm getting stronger every little by and by. And if you see me in the morning sun, you wonder who I am. Hey, I'm just another mother's son, I'm just another man. And if you see me in the morning sun, you wonder who I am. I'm just another mother's son, I'm just another man.
Good. That's from your album Ride the Wind.
That's it, yeah.
That's the last one. Now, get back to your early days again. Do you think you would have come back here after university if the Troubles hadn't been on?
No.
What did you study?
I did a funny degree. I studied French,
yeah,
and industrial design.
French and industrial design. I don't know many people who've done that.
No, they haven't. No, it was a combined honours degree. And I was,
by the way, I see what you mean about this man here. You've got a great voice, Conor.
Oh, he's a hell of a voice. Yeah.
Tell me a bit about yourself, Conor.
Me? Oh God! Don't ask me questions. I didn't come here to.
All right, then I won't ask you any questions.
What's that?
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Tony dragged me along.
Connor's a fine songwriter, but he's down in Waterford, and he's. I took him up to. We played in the Fiddler's Green Festival about 2 years ago, but unfortunately nobody was in the room that we played in, and they didn't hear. But Connor's a great singer. But
are you doing any gigs around here at the moment, or where are you based?
I am, and I'm not. I'm actually doing. I'm doing a thing on the 26th of October.
Yeah.
In what's the name? Down in Dublin, J.J. Smith's in Dublin, and it's going to be kind of an album launch.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to try for a gig or two, maybe up around in the north, to try and do the same thing. But basically, I can't make a living here, doing it. And I'm just back from Maryland now. I was over there for the last week and a half, and before that I had a little tour in Germany. Actually, I did it with Ben Reel. So
you're kind of passing through then, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and actually, I was rehearsing a band over in Annapolis we're looking at. I'm looking at doing a bit, because down around Nashville, you don't make money from playing.
No. I've been in bars and seen guys, singer-songwriters, excellent, standing with their hat. And the dime's coming in, and you go, hold on a minute.
I mean, I was invited by the great Tony Arata. He wrote that the dance. Tony Arata, to play in the Bluebird Cafe, and I played with him. Tony Arata, Irene Kelly, Janice Ian.
Oh God! Yeah.
And I can't remember the other guy's name. And at the end of the night, the place was full, packed. At the end of the night, we paid the sound engineer. I think he got $150, and we got $25 each. And I said, "Hey guys, how do you live here?" And he said, "Well, it's
bus fare home.
Not, it's not about that." So,
what are you allowed to be a sound engineer?
Exactly. Yeah. But
it's a long way from Gerry Town Hall to the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville.
It is, yeah. But I actually find that they really like my music there, and they're quite surprised. Well, I've had a few songs recorded recently, and it's starting to gently happen. I did a little bit of collaboration with a really lovely guy called Ricky Ross from a band called Deacon Blue.
Oh yeah,
and,
great band.
He's recorded a song we wrote together with Tom Utz called "Oh the Dark." He did it on his latest album with his wife. And there's a few other things being recorded in America, and I believe there's I'm told Emmylou Harris has one of my songs and is interested, and I'm told that Alison Krauss has one of them. But so far, no big cuts. You know?
Sure. I mean, it's no smoke without fire.
No, but I'm doing good albums. I mean, and at a certain point there is a back catalogue, and I'm writing the songs and playing well. And,
you look like a man who's content. You don't look terribly stressed out to me.
No.
You look okay. You look like a man who's enjoying his life.
And the funny thing, when the last time I think I was over with you, I had a guy from Germany, a really kind of a freaky guitar player, Kylie. And I was actually playing with Kylie a couple of weeks ago. He used to play with Jack Bruce, people that, and Kevin Coyne. And so I sort of have my little circuits going now, and I keep going and doing it. Yeah. And when I'm down in Waterford, I do the thing with Connor, and it's
all right.
So it's
just remind the people again your website
TonyMcLaughlin.com, and or just Google me, and you'll find it. You'll find it in iTunes, and I mean, a lot of people are downloading nowadays.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But the album is great because there's a picture of me on it.
I have to say that's worth getting for that alone. You're not as nice looking as Marion Green, but you'll have to pass.
He has a face for
it's
radio.
in the eye of the beholder, Gerry.
Well, listen, thank you, Tony, for coming in.
You're
thank
very
you,
welcome.
Thanks very much.
It's a pleasure to have you as always, and I enjoyed the crack.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll do one to
one very special song. We'll do this song called Tree Line. Well, there was another song called Belfast Tarantino, but I think we'll do a Tree Line, because this is a very. It's off.
No, you do whatever you like.
Ride the Wind, but this is about a special tree.
Okay, thank you both of you for coming in.
Thanks very much.
It's about the tree which grows where the other trees don't grow, above the tree line. Have we got time? And it's they say it has spiritual properties. And this tree, apparently the roots will grow over hundreds of miles to reach trees of the same family. It's a wonderful legend. It's a sort of a Mexican, New Mexico.
True story.
And I wrote it with a guy called Sergio Webb, who plays with David Olney sometimes. And he used to play with Pinto Bennett and the Motel Cowboys. And we just wrote this song, and it's a very spiritual song. So I'd like to do it. Was that
a very spiritual prayer.
It's not rock and roll, I guess, but here it is. Good and bad, we came running out of nowhere. Strange time. Our little sister, don't you worry. Above the tree line is just the wind. It
rolls and tumbles and back again. Black and white and fiery yellow on the mountainside. Why don't we stay? It's why we came here, good and bad. Above the tree line is just the wind that rolls and tumbles and back again. Above the tree line is just the wind that rolls and tumbles and back again, and back again, and back again. Reaching out in all directions, 100 feet high. Follow the sign across these borders, it's where we're going, you and I. Above the tree line is just the wind that rolls and tumbles and back again. Above the tree line is just the wind that rolls and tumbles and back again, back again, back again.
That's a new version of a song. I played the original for quite a while. That's Belware the State. That's a song called Safe Spaces. That's a new version of it from an album which I can't praise highly enough. It's called Oh Yeah, Contenders. New Sounds from Northern Ireland, Volume 1. And there's a website, www.ohyeahbelfast.com. OHYEAH. H. You have to say H and H, you see, for all the different people listening. Thank you very much to Marianne Green. What a great morning's music this has been. And Tony McLaughlin and Connor. And thank you very much indeed. I have to say that Cairn Wheelers are holding a charity cycle for Macmillan Cancer on Sunday at 10 a.m. Go along to that.